activity as opposed to focusing on a transaction.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I mean, you kind of touched on this earlier. You're deeply integrated with Shopify. And I think just kind of a personal bias here, the brands that are going to win are going to have, different elements of personalization, right? And this fits into that, but also into the customer experience. What is the best customer experience? And you're right, 2 clicks. There's brands that have 5, 10 clicks, and there's drop off at every one of those points, and you lose them. And that's why Amazon, to your earlier point about loading times, I mean, every millisecond they're losing hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, it's insane. So this is kind of like the shortcut to a fast loading app, right? Your site that's hyper targeted to the right folks. And really, it's just the best experience because they order on the app. It goes into your fulfillment systems. You can fulfill those orders. The emails go into Klaviyo, whatever your follow-up drip sequences are. It's just, it seems beautiful. Now, talking about SMS real quick. SMS is, I wouldn't say tricky, but there's all these things that they have where, look, if somebody opts in with a 2-step pop-up or whatever, you double up, hey, 5% off if you give us your email, and they go, okay, I'll take it. And then you go 10% off if you give us your phone number right now. And you put in your phone number and they go, okay, you go, okay. Then it sends you a text and you have to add a contact card, right? And they're telling everybody, because the SMS providers are freaking out right now. And they're telling everybody, no. If somebody opts in, it's really a double opt-in, right? The old school. If somebody opts in and then they go to their phone and they add you as a contact card, as a brand, then you'll get through 100%. Like, we've got deals with the carriers, you're fine. First of all, I don't believe that. And second of all, they really make their money, you're right, on all of the sends. I go, well, it's 5 cents a text message, but you've got a list of 100,000 people. I mean, let's do some quick math here. You got a list of 100,000 people. You're sending a text once a week for 5 cents. Is that right? That's $5,000 just for one? Is my math? No, my math can't be right. Is that right?
That's right.
That's $5,000.
So
it's $5,000.
I mean, the average brand we work with is spending about $25,000 a month on SMS, right? It's
because
huge.
You have to pay per SMS, but you could probably get that down if you're doing a bulk. But let's just say it's 1 cent and you're doing 5 a month, right? A lot of brands are going to be doing a lot more here because we're going into Black Friday, Cyber Monday, right? And then, of course, December with all the promotions. So they've really got you by the balls, even though it's first-party data, kind of. I would say kind of, right? Because like these platforms, and I'm not going to name anybody, right? But if it's same thing with email, right? If you try to migrate email providers, there's warm-up periods, right? It's kind of a mess, right, Neal? Like
100%.
You got to have opt-in timestamps. Then you got to warm up these new IPs of whoever you've moved to. And same thing with SMS. If people have opted in and you've done this contact card and on this platform with this, number, whatever it is, and you try to move, they're making their money on the fees. So here's what I say. Always be wary of whoever you're talking to because they're going to tell you that their solution's the best, right? But, of course, apps like this is hard to really argue with because you guys are providing the infrastructure for brands to launch these apps, but then you're also providing the supplementary services of, hey, look, we're kind of doing CRO with you and tracking these metrics. And
Exactly.
It's really a lot more than just launching an app.
You're absolutely right. I mean, again, we're serving as your backend manager, strategy partner, but then even like taking, back to what you said about the SMS providers making the recommendation to their brands to have the users add them as a contact card, right? So now a user opts into SMS, whether it's for the 5%, 10%, whatever it was, and now you're asking the user to say, hey, listen, just so we don't go to a promotions tab or a folder, also add us and put us as a contact just like you would mom or dad, right? What percentage of your users are going to take those extra steps to say, oh, I got this unknown number, now I'm going to add as a contact, name it ABC brand? That the percentage is right now, so far, the early results saying like less than 5% of users are taking those steps, right? So
Sure.
while that's the tool, that's the only strategy really that an SMS provider can try to say, hey, let's try to mitigate the open rate issue or the report junk issue that's going to be happening. But the reality is like how many users are actually going to do that, right?